So hello and welcome to Fuel Mixologist. What I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be doing a kind of compare and contrast model review of the Holley, of the smaller 4-barrel Holley carbs. Now before I do that, just an announcement in general. This is a channel about carburetors, obviously, and I have done many models over the years of Holley or kind of Weber, Dell'Orto, and you can go and you can check them out in the playlist. However, if you think there is one that I haven't done, or if you want me to cover a specific model of carburetor, just put it down in the comments, and whilst I can't guarantee that I'll do it immediately, I'll certainly consider it for the next time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I'm going to bring the camera kind of closer in, and I'm going to start discussing the differences between the different carburation models. So, but as an introduction, what we've got here is this unit here is a List 1848. That's a 465 CFM unit. And this is a List 8007, which is a 390 CFM unit. So this is the what I call the baby Holley 4-barrel. This is the smallest capacity one, and this is a slightly larger one. And I think this originally it was designed by Holley to be used in like tunnel ram applications. So two of these mounted on the same manifold. So I'll bring you a bit closer in now, and I'll show you what the differences are between them. And the reason I'm doing this is because I've got them both at the same time in the shop. I need to kind of get this ready for dispatch, so I want to do this video before it goes out of the door, kind of thing. So let's come in closer. Okay, so one of the first things that the kind of 465 CFM has is that let's say the land between the barrels is contoured rather than pointed as in this one. Now this kind of helps with the airflow, and that's why. And also, if you look at it, there is a tiny difference in the size of the Venturis as well. So obviously there is a difference in the design of how the air kind of goes into the carb. That does mean that it has a kind of higher capacity. And the other difference that you need to note between these is obviously that there is a difference in the size of the throttle plates. So this is 35. This is kind of 35 mil. Was the throttle plates for the 390 CFM is kind of just a shade. Let's have a look. Yeah, so it's 36 mil for the 390, and then for the 465 CFM it's slightly, yeah, you see it's 37, so it's 1 millimeter larger. And then I've got here, for comparison's sake, I've got a 600 CFM carb, and here if I measure this up, it's 40. It's 40 mil. So basically, if I show you all three of them together, this is the smallest one, and this this size is your standard 600 CFM base plate. So what makes this carb quite rare, in a sense, the LIS 1848, the 465 CFM, is that it has an intermediate base plate between the smallest one, which is this one, the 390, and the 600, which is probably the most common, the LIS 1850. And this is an intermediate base plate again, which is specific to this model carb. There is also another version of this carb that is a mechanical secondaries, and they also use this intermediate base plate size. That is again very specific to these carbs, and you can see here it's a kind of 1848 is even stamped on the base plate. That's why it's kind of so rare. So since I've showed you the in the previous frames, I was showing you the differences between the size of the base plates, and that also as well has a corresponding in the correspondence in the size of the main jets for this unit. So the LIS 8007, generally they have 51 jets as the primary. This one, the LIS 1848, the 465 CFM, has 57, and your kind of standard 600 CFM carb will have around 64 to 66 jets, depending on the metering plate and what are the sizes of all the other circuits. But this gives you an idea also of the progression of flow between one carb, between one model and the other as well. Generally what I say is that you should always aim for, at least when you're doing the initial setup of the carb, you should always aim for the factory state of tune, unless you've done any other modifications. And actually the size of the factory jets it's perfectly correlated with the increase in size of the carburetor. Okay, so that's the end of the video. I hope you got kind of something out of that, and therefore I'll see you in the next video, and just put down your comments if you want to see a different aspect of it, or if you want me to just cover a different model. So thank you, I'll see you in the next episode.